I just want them back. But do I need them back? When my ex broke up with me, we had been together for about 6 years, and it was not the first time that he tried to break up with me. And we had talked things over before, and we managed to work things through and continue our relationship. So I had no reason to believe that this was going to be any different. I mean, really, why would it be any different? We just got into therapy. And we have been through therapy before. We were trying a new therapist because we realized the old therapist wasn't giving us the tools that we needed. So why would breaking up now make any sense? So of course I still loved him. Why would I be in therapy if I didn't want to work on things? That's what therapy was for, at least in my mind. So I loved him and I was not ready for a breakup. But he was ready. So I found myself asking all these questions. Why was he ready? What was different this time? What is the problem that I'm not solving? Because I'm fine with changing things. I was in therapy because I thought that things weren't so great and I thought that we could fix them. So I was totally fine with bending and figuring out where we were messing up as a couple. That wasn't the way he felt. Maybe that's not how he felt, but I felt completely the opposite, and I could not wrap my head around how. How could he not love me the way that I loved him? Because I loved him, I tried to find everything that I could do to make things work. I was reading books, I was reading articles online, watching YouTube videos, getting advice from people, just trying to figure out how can I save this relationship. Honestly, I feel like I tried just about everything that I could have tried. I tried doing all the things that he had wanted in the past. I had done what the books had told me to do. I had tried not speaking up and being quiet and just trying to give everything that I could perceive that he wanted. I tried asserting myself. I tried just doing things that you generally think are loving, and nothing seemed to get through. Eventually, as the months rolled on, I realized even with the therapy, even with all the changes I was making, nothing was going to get through because he had made up his mind that we were breaking up. And because he was dead set that this is the way that things were going to go, I was left with a problem. How was I going to move on after I'm still in love with the person? For a long time, I didn't even want to accept that that's what had to happen. I tried to hold out as long as I possibly could. Eventually, though, I couldn't deny it any longer. He was already moving on without me, and there was nothing that I was going to do that was going to get him to come back. So how did I solve this problem? Well, I wouldn't say that I deliberately solved it. I would say it just kind of came to me as I continued moving forward. The answer for me was that I didn't have to stop loving him. I could keep loving him and still take steps to move away from him. And that's not something that I even considered a possibility, because it seems like moving away from somebody means you don't love them, but it doesn't. You can still take actions and still hold a place in your heart full of love for the person that you're moving away from. Now, that didn't mean that I had to like it. That didn't mean that I had to like that he was moving away from me. But I knew that this was the only way that I was going to find some peace in my life, and it did lead to peace. And though I don't quite love him the same way now, years later, I got forward, I moved on. And just because that's what happened with me, that doesn't mean that's what's going to happen with you. You may still feel like you strongly love them years later, and who knows what can happen in years. So moving on, remember, doesn't mean that you don't love them. What is one thing that you could do, something small, to move on today? Leave that down below in the comments.